Are you ready to discover the greatest lesson you'll ever learn from hitting rock bottom? In this video, we're diving into the profound teachings of Stoicism and the invaluable lesson it offers in times of adversity. Lesson 1. Deal with the truth. Accepting something isn't just a passive thing to do. It takes bravery and active participation. It means changing your mind from denying to admitting. This change is important for anyone who is dealing with loss. The Stoics thought that the first step to becoming wise and clear is to accept what is real. In the beginning, accepting truth can feel like a heavy burden, but in the end, it frees you. You can finally focus on going forward once you stop fighting against the flow of your life. When you accept something, it's like taking off a tight belt that was holding you back. It frees you up and lets you breathe again. It was said by Marcus Aurelius, "You are a little soul carrying around a corpse." This deep statement shows how short life is. Our bodies and things will break down, but our spirit and the way we choose to live will last forever. If you accept that life changes, you can start to let go of things that are no longer useful to you. You understand that life is a set of changes and that every moment is a chance to get better. To accept something, you don't have to hide your thoughts or act like everything is fine when it's not. It's more about recognizing all the different feelings that come with death. You can be angry, sad, confused, or even relieved. All of these emotions are okay. Part of accepting them is being able to see them. Spend some time with your feelings. Write down how you're feeling in a journal. Talk to a friend you trust, or just be still and think. When you talk about your feelings, you make room for healing. The Stoics knew that feelings are a normal part of being human. Accept them as a normal part of life instead of running away from them. This makes you stronger and better prepared to deal with problems in the future. Letting go of the idea that you are in control is also part of accepting something. A lot of the time, we tell ourselves that we can control how everything turns out. Life, on the other hand, is naturally uncertain. For our mental and emotional health, it's important to learn to accept things we can't change. The Stoics tell us to tell the difference between things we can control and things we can't. Pay attention to the parts of your life that you can change, like the things you think, do, and how you respond. For everything else, learn to accept what is. This doesn't mean you stop trying to get better or make things different. It just means you know that some things are out of your control. You can start looking for direction in your life once you've accepted reality. This is where the Stoic habit of thinking about things comes in handy. You can learn lessons and gain insights that you may not have seen before when you think about your loss. To rebuild your life, you must first learn to accept what happened. The base it gives you is strong enough to build your future on. You can set new goals and make good changes once you accept what has happened. Even though the past has changed you, it doesn't decide what will happen in the future. Picture what you want your life to be like in the future. When you accept what happened, you can let go of sorrow and look forward to the future with hope and optimism. Still, the road ahead won't be simple, but knowing that you've faced and accepted your truth gives you the strength to keep going. Accepting what is really going on is the first and most important step in the process of healing and rebuilding. To do this, you need to be brave, honest, and ready to face hard facts. You make room for growth and change when you let go of doubt. Accept your feelings and give up the need to be in charge. Lesson 2. Let your feelings show. Giving yourself permission to feel all of your feelings without shame or judgment is what it means to allow yourself to feel. It is important to know that feelings are not inherently good or bad. They are just how we react to things that happen to us. When we label our thoughts as negative, we put up a wall that keeps us from fully processing them. When you've lost someone or something, the first thing you should do is recognize how you feel. There are many ways to acknowledge this: writing in a book, talking to a trusted friend, or just being still and letting your feelings out. Every one of these activities gives your feelings a place to come out, so they don't stay inside. For example, if you're sad, don't try to push it away. Instead, let it wash over you. Let the tears come if they do. Cry is a strong way to let go, and it doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Remember that being sad doesn't make you weaker. It makes you more able to love and care deeply. Also, it's important to give yourself a safe place to work through these thoughts. This could be a place where you can sit and think, like a quiet room or your favorite park. You can practice mindfulness in this space. Mindfulness helps you stay with your thoughts without judging them or getting distracted. Being mindful can help you notice your feelings without letting them take over. Being an objective observer of your thoughts and feelings lets you go through them without getting caught up in the chaos. When you practice awareness, you learn to separate your feelings from who you are. There is no such thing as a sad person. Just because you are sad doesn't mean you are sad. Knowing that feelings often go in cycles is another part of letting yourself feel. They show up in groups. You might feel very angry or hopeless at times, and then you might feel relieved or happy at other times. Being aware of this cycle can help you handle your thoughts better. The Stoics stressed how important it was to understand how feelings work. They thought that even though we can't change what happens to us, we can change how we react to our feelings. You can ride the waves of your emotions instead of letting them sweep you away. This way, you can stay balanced while the waves flow through you. Giving yourself permission to feel also means being open to being hurt. People often think of vulnerability as a weakness, but it's really a huge power. It takes guts to be honest about how you feel and what you're going through. You can make real relationships with other people, which can be very healing when you let yourself be vulnerable. Talking about how you feel with other people can help you feel a lot better. You'll be surprised at how many people can connect to what you've been through. Sharing your feelings with others can help them understand and help you feel less alone in your problems. Being vulnerable lets people help and care for you, both from yourself and the people around you. Although thinking about yourself and talking to friends about your feelings can be very helpful, there may be times when the strength of your feelings is too much to handle. When this happens, getting help from a therapist or counselor can give you useful tools and new ways of looking at things to help you deal with your feelings. The people who work in mental health can help you deal with your emotions in a healthy way, whether you're sad, angry, or grieving. Finding meaning in your feelings can turn them from something that makes you feel bad into something that helps you learn. It helps you understand that even though your feelings hurt, they can teach you important things about yourself and what you need. Letting yourself feel opens the door to healing. By being vulnerable, you let yourself understand how complicated your inner world is, and you find strength in that. Accepting your feelings can help you make deeper connections, grow as a person, and gain a better appreciation for how full the human experience is. So, even when you're sad, you can find the deep beauty in being living. Lesson 3. Get your self-worth back on track. Sometimes it's easy to feel like you've lost yourself when you lose everything. You might believe that your worth was connected to what you had, like your job, your relationships, or your social standing. One of the most freeing things about Stoicism is that it says your worth is not based on outside things. It comes from inside. To rebuild your self-worth, you must first realize that your situations do not define you. The loss you've been through doesn't make you less valuable as a person. Instead, it gives us a chance to grow and get even better. You become secure when you separate your self-worth from other people or things. You are whole no matter what life takes away from you. Remember that this process takes time. It's okay if you don't feel strong right away. It takes time to rebuild your sense of self-worth. As you take each step, you will feel stronger and more resilient inside. What you've lost doesn't make you who you are. You are unique because you can get back up, rebuild, and get even stronger in the process. Lesson 4. Be open to change. The Stoics knew better than anyone else that things will always change. They taught that the only thing that stays the same in life is change, and that fighting it is a sure way to get hurt. It can feel like your whole world has been turned upside down when you lose everything. Chaos, on the other hand, is where growth and change can happen. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make of it. This idea of Stoicism, which says that how you think about change affects how you feel about it, If you think of change as scary and out of your hands, it will be too much for you to handle. That being said, if you see change as a normal part of life, you can find new things. You don't have to like change in order to accept it. You just have to accept that things will change, which means you have the chance to grow. It may seem like the end when you lose everything, but it's often the start of something new. We have to let go of things we thought we needed in order to find the things that really matter. If you accept change, you change your attitude from being against it to being open to it. When you let go of the past, you can look forward to the future with hope and interest. We should not be afraid of change. Instead, we should welcome it because it helps us grow. Don't forget that the Stoics thought that everything happens for a reason. It's possible for even the worst changes to teach us something useful. You start to see that every loss and failure is a chance to grow when you go into change with an open mind and a desire to learn. Lesson 5. Take little steps to get better. It can be hard to see how to get better after losing everything. You might not know what to do and feel stuck. We don't have to solve all of our problems at once, as the Stoics teach us. In fact, taking small, doable steps is the best way to get over a loss. First, tell yourself what you'd be. Then, do what you need to do. As you rebuild, this means giving yourself small goals that you can reach. Don't get caught up in how big the next few days are. Instead, think about what you can do today. Every little step forward is a success, and these small wins add up to big progress over time. It's important to be kind to yourself when you've lost someone important. Don't feel like you need to know everything right away. Just take one day at a time. Maybe all you want to do today is get up and go for a walk. It could be to call someone you've been putting off until tomorrow. No matter how small, each of these things brings you closer to getting better. Stoicism says to let go of things we can't change and focus on the things we can. You can't change how long it takes to get better, but you can change what steps you take every day. You feel like you have power over your life again when you focus on the present moment and the small things you can do. Small steps like these add up over time. You feel better about the future, stronger and more capable. It's not easy to get better, but if you take it one step at a time, you will get there. Lesson 6. Notice the strength you've grown. The last thing you'll learn from losing everything is that recovering has taught you something much more important than what you lost. You are stronger, more resilient, and have a better sense of who you are and what life is all about. The Stoics thought that bad things happen to teach us something. He said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." When you go through loss and come out on the other side, you are not the same person you were before. You're smarter, stronger, and better able to handle things. Please take a moment to appreciate how strong you've become. You made it through something very hard, which is an accomplishment in and of itself. Even though you're still getting better, the fact that you're reading this shows how strong you are. When we lose something important in our lives, it can help us see what's really important. You found skills you didn't know you had during this process. This experience has taught you that you can handle hard times and that you can rebuild, no matter how bad things get. Stoicism tells us that we are strong when we are strong inside. It's not about staying away from pain or trouble. It's about meeting it with strength and style. When you lose everything, you find out how strong you really are. You find out that you're much stronger than you thought. The most important thing you'll learn from losing everything is that you already have everything you need to rebuild. As Stoics teach, we can't change the things that happen in life, but we can change how we react to them. We find our real strength not in what we own, but in who we are when we lose something. Accept what is. Let your feelings come out. Feel better about yourself again. Accept change. Take little steps to get better. Take note of the strength you've gained. These lessons will help you get through any loss and come out of it smarter, stronger, and more adaptable.